Your new book is called Mr. Shaha's Marvellous Machines, and it's a real cracker. I've had the privilege of looking at a proof copy, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and a physical copy when it comes out, and making some of the machines with my two boys. And it's got experiments such as the vortex, cannon and smoke ring machine. So how can you not be excited about making things like that? But can you tell us a bit about the book and perhaps why every parent and teacher should get themselves a copy?
So it's very much a follow-up to Recipes for Wonder. And with Recipes for Wonder, I really wanted to give parents who perhaps didn't have a science background the confidence to be their child's first science teacher. That was my kind of mission. I kept telling people, you should be your child's first science teacher, because, you know, parents are their children's first teachers. You know, a lot of kids, if not most, first learn about letters and reading with their parents. We certainly learn about how to do art, colouring in and drawing with our parents. We learn about music with our parents. And I think children's first science teacher ought to be their parents as well. And it's perhaps not the case for a lot of children because parents lack confidence. So I wanted to write a book that would help anyone introduce their children to scientific thinking. So with Marvellous Machines, I kind of wanted to put the focus on engineering and making. And, you know, any primary teacher will tell you that, you know, children need motor skills from cutting out and colouring in and so forth. So the book accomplishes that at a very basic level. But I also think making things is something that is really good for us on a personal level. I think, you know, there's a joy to be had from making. And if we can introduce children to the idea of how things work and that you can make your own things, you don't always have to be buying things, I think that's a hugely positive thing to do in the current world where, you know, consumerism and kind of waste is rife, really. And you know, one of the central messages of the book is that you don't have to be buying stuff all the time. You can make your own stuff, you can recycle and reuse. So, you know, those are the core messages of the book. But I've also included the kind of scientific explanations behind how some of the toys work, or all of the toys work, or my best efforts at explaining them. And I think, look, if you seem like a parent who's engaged with your children, and really, you know, I'm not lecturing parents, I'm just saying, like, and the research shows that if you just engage with your children, if you're reading to them, if you're talking to them, you're going to be doing the best that you can to set them up for educational success and so forth. So my book really is just a set of resources that I think will help parents engage with their children in an interesting way, and allow them to just develop some skills which will definitely come in useful. And most of all, I think we were talking a minute ago about fun and wonder, and I think, you know, if you've got the opportunity to do that with your children, you should have as much fun in your lives as possible. And I'm just trying to help parents do that in a way that perhaps they might not have thought of for themselves, and which I think will ultimately just push them towards thinking about science and engineering in a non-formal setting, you know, and there's often not enough opportunities to do that.
Yeah. And do you know why, Alom, that one of the reasons I wanted to invite you on the Teachappy vlog, because predominantly my passion and interest is human happiness, human well-being, for want of better phrases. And when I read your first book with my son and we started to do some of the experiments, you know, there were so many links to well-being. So one, that connection. So me and my son sitting down together, doing something together. So we've got that physical and emotional and intellectual connection in that moment. Two, wonder, or these are positive emotions, to use kind of psychological terms. So we're feeling good in the moment as we are experimenting. And secondly, you talk about kind of doing stuff. There's a lot of research that shows that when we feel like we have a sense of agency and control, then that is inherently good for well-being. And your books are all about making, doing, and feeling like you're in control of the experiments. So yeah, that's why I wanted you on this vlog as well, because it's not just science or engineering. Actually, there's a whole lot more in your books that I think can really benefit children with their parents and their families. So yeah.
I'm really glad you've picked up on that. I mean, the introduction to the new book is called The Joy of Making, and that's available for free on my website. People can read it, and it's, to me, you know, I love making stuff. I'm not particularly talented, like you know, I can't build you a coffee table or anything, but you know, I make a really good curry, for example, and I have made my own bookshelves in the past, and I think there is a deep sense of satisfaction to be had from making things, and you know, that's why people are really into cake making and things like that. I think there's something about making things that makes us happy on a fundamental level, and what Marvellous Machines does is give you a whole range of stuff that you can make with your children, using stuff that you've got lying around the house, and most of the activities are really straightforward, and one of the things I've tried to do is leave them open so that it's really obvious how you might make it better, and then and I think there's a satisfaction to be had from that as well. So you're absolutely right, you know, both books, yes, they kind of hang on a kind of STEM peg, but actually I think you've hit the nail on the head in terms of what they're about, in terms of allowing parents and children to engage and find positive emotions. I like the way you put it. Thank you.